Welcome to Sports Talk with Puckett and Pontzer here on the airwaves of 88.3 WXOU. We had some big news on the Oakland University campus this week as the Fan Fest at the O-Arena on Tuesday revealed the men's basketball schedule coming up for this fall/winter. It's going to be exciting as the Grizzlies are going to lead off their season at North Carolina in a tough game, to say the least. On Chapel Hill, or in Chapel Hill, I guess you'd say. And then they're going to the other side of the country at UCLA, and some tough games. So, Tim, what did you think about some of the games that are going to be coming up?
This is a big year for Oakland. First year, obviously, in the Horizon League, so you're going to be facing tougher conference competition, and the highlight of that being the game against Detroit, a new rival for us to have. But also, teams like they open with Wright State. You've got, Cleveland State, Green Bay. You've got some Youngstown State teams that are close. But, Campy, his usual plan of action every year is to schedule tough non-conference competition to, get ready for, those games, and then potentially a tournament game. That's his whole plan. From day one, which is November 8th at North Carolina, Campy is preparing for a tournament game. If Oakland is a 13, 14, 15 seed, North Carolina is a team they could be potentially playing, and that's what he is. He prepares them to do.
Right. If you can't beat a 2, 3, 4 seed early in the season.
Right.
And
then he puts them in environments that are hard. The Poly Pavilion for UCLA. I look at one that jumps out to me is at Indiana at Assembly Hall. This is Big Ten country. People always talk about how
it's
hard
tough.
of a crowd that is. That you're not really going to get that feel in the Horizon League. You certainly weren't going to get it in the Summit League, and nothing against the Horizon League, but you're not going to get the Cameron Crazies or whatever that's Duke, but you're not going to get a crowd like that.
No.
To simulate that. But then, if Oakland, and you're looking at these games, you don't expect Oakland to win any of them.
No.
And that's, as we're, both wearing our Oakland colors today, I'm not, I don't fault myself as a fan. I don't think it's a bad thing to say as a current Oakland student to say, they're going to start 0-4 at least probably with North Carolina, UCLA, and then for the beginning of that EA Sports Maui Invitational at California, so in Berkeley, and then in Spokane, Washington at Gonzaga. But those 4 teams are teams probably going to beat Oakland. Gonzaga made a deep tournament run. North Carolina won the title a couple years ago. UCLA and California are, perennial powers. So,
but I think that it's important for Oakland, like you said, in preparation for
Absolutely.
the ability to make a tournament and hopefully make some kind of a run,
right, and
that you would be able to compete with, not necessarily North Carolina, but compete with UCLA, who has been a program that's struggled more recently,
and I look
at a team in California that's not exactly.
I look at one of the teams on their schedule at Gonzaga, and I think that Campy, that's something that he would ultimately strive to want to be like a team like that someday. Now that's in the future for sure, and Gonzaga wasn't overnight. But they're a team that is definitely a small school, mid-major, that has moved up a couple conferences. They've had a couple guys like Adam Morrison come through, but they've been, perennial.
They were a 1 seed last year.
Yeah, exactly. And to be a small school and get there, Oakland, that's almost like you look at it as like a 10, 15-year plan almost. You can't just be like an overnight thing.
Teams like
Outside
Gonzaga, Butler, Xavier, some small schools like that are teams that Greg Campy and Oakland's athletic department should be using as models to where they want to be.
But I look at this schedule, and I like it a lot more than last season's schedule. Oakland opened last year with Davenport and Defiance College, 2 just exhibition games, then opened with Albion, beat them by 30, but then so they actually opened on the road or at home, but then they played at Louisiana, at Boise State, at Pittsburgh, Texas Southern, Michigan State, Tennessee, Western Michigan, at Ohio, at West Virginia. They were like crisscrossing the country. It took a huge toll on the players. Because you'd have games like 2 nights later, you were on the other side of the country. And, then they had Alabama in there and before really starting their conference schedule. And Campy said he said a lot last year. He said it was the dumbest schedule ever made. It was really stupid of him. He thought, and I think he almost did too much, in my opinion, to prepare his team beat. And I think that you look at this schedule, I think it's the right mix of what he needs to prepare for this new conference schedule. He doesn't have the quantity as much, but he certainly has the quality. And you're going to have some big name opponents. And for some reason, if Oakland can get it's really a win-win situation for Oakland, because if for some reason they can get North Carolina or UCLA on a bad day, and if Bader hits 10 threes, even if you stay close with them, you become relevant.
Absolutely.
If for some reason, I mean, and it's not like it can't happen, but if for some reason, especially early in the season, tune-up games like these teams would look at it as, if somebody in North Carolina gets in foul trouble, Oakland hits a couple threes, and all of a sudden they win that game, that's huge. And I'm not expecting that, but what I'm saying, it's a win-win, because if Oakland loses by 30, that's what you expected to happen,
right.
and they still get that experience.
Even if Oakland is leading at halftime, or is competing in the not the fourth quarter, but in the second half of the second half, right. You draw attention to yourself, and people are like, "Who's Oakland?"
Exactly.
And that's when we started our show here on 88.3 WXOU. We talked about Oakland going into the CIT.
Yeah.
And, I was a little bit more disappointed than Tim was, because, I really feel expectations are for the tournament. Right. And Tim agrees with me on that.
Absolutely.
And that's how you make a name for yourself, is by making the tournament. But it's also by making waves, kind of, in these not preseason, but early season games against big names.
And that was, I recall last year, Oakland played at Pittsburgh, and Pitt had not lost a non-conference game on their home floor for like 70 straight games. And Oakland had a 19-point lead that they choked away and then lost in overtime. And Campy was just, he couldn't believe it, because he knew that was an opportunity they let slip. But even then, that's something, if Oakland can do that and gain that experience, and if they could for some reason pull out a win, if Oakland does that, even against, you're playing at Louisiana, that's not as big a school. But like I said, this North Carolina, UCLA, California, Gonzaga, and the big one for me, even though it's not part of the Maui Invitational or those first games, is the at Indiana one. And by then, both teams should probably be tuned up. But I'm really excited to see what Oakland does, because that game will probably be on the Big Ten networks. I'm sure I'll be able to watch it somewhere, and I'll be interested to see how Oakland can compete with a team if they can compete. And I'm not expecting them to compete all four quarters, but
to both halves.
Exactly. But if Oakland could do something in any of those games, that's why ESPNU came and watched them play Tennessee, because they nearly beat them 3 years in a row. That when they beat Tennessee and they were the number 7 team in the country, that was a big moment for Oakland. They got on SportsCenter. That got Keith Benson a lot of attention. That's a big reason why he got drafted. It's huge for the program. And I look at these things as win-wins, because you get that experience, you have an outside shot of becoming even more relevant, and there's also, and that's just part of college athletics, but there's certain payouts involved for showing up and expecting to get beat.
Right,
and that's, see it more in football.
And that's how you pay for your bus rides and all that kind of stuff.
It's an interesting point. It's not bus rides, but it's what allows Campy to have charter flights to every conference game. And he believes that's a big importance. He places a lot of importance on that, especially in the Summit League. They were going to Dakotas and stuff.
But people, for the casual Oakland fan, or former alumni that maybe catches a couple games a year, people might say, what's really the difference between moving up to the Horizon League and playing in the Summit League? And along with being a more illustrious conference, a conference that gets a lot more attention, it's the travel. And we talked about that when we found out that Oakland was going to the Horizon League. And in this schedule, after the first 6 games, the 7th game is a road game at Kalamazoo, or at Western Michigan in Kalamazoo. Right. But after that, in the remaining games, after those first 6, Oakland does not leave the Midwest.
Exactly.
They play in Michigan, they play in Ohio, they play in Indiana, Illinois, and Wisconsin. That's it. Right. They don't go any farther. So the farthest you're going to go, this is in driving distance, is like 7 hours, to Green Bay.
Green Bay's probably close. I mean, you have to go across the water. But,
right.
I mean, that's their
but
furthest
you
one.
don't leave the Midwest after your first 6 games.
And this is huge for Oakland, because you're absolutely right. You look at the Summit League. They were going to Oakland was the furthest Eastern school in that conference.
Right, you're going to North Dakota,
And
you're going to South Dakota,
who
Nebraska.
joined the Summit League this year? Oh, Denver.
You're right.
I mean, that's ridiculous. And this is huge. And, this allows, being in a conference like this Horizon League, allows you to, have North Carolina maybe pick up the phone and say, yeah, we'll play you. And that's not how it probably goes, but it gives you a little more credence. And, now you get in this Maui Invitational, and you're going to be on ESPN. And the big one that everyone was excited for at the Fan Fest was they announced that the game, and it's late in the season, it's February 14th at the arena, versus Detroit is going to be on ESPN, not ESPNU. It's after football season. It's all done, but it's going to be versus Detroit, the second half of the season series, because they open at Detroit in January. But
right, a month earlier.
Right, that's huge for Oakland to be on ESPN. That's I think of it. It's gonna baseball's not gonna be going on, obviously. Football's gonna be, the Super Bowl's early February. Hockey is whatever, and then basketball is kind of the same point. It's kind of the midpoint of the season. In fact, I don't know when the Olympics are, but regardless, fans will turn on ESPN. It'll be probably like an 8 or 9 o'clock start, and be like, oh, this Oakland team playing Detroit. And, it wouldn't have the same as like Oakland beating Tennessee and people on Twitter saying, hey, upset alert, go to ESPNU. Right. But you're on ESPN, more people are going to turn that on, and people are going to be like, oh, look at this Oakland team. And it gives them huge exposure.
And they know what the Horizon League is because of a school like
and it's
Butler.
Good. I mean, it's good for Detroit, too, and it's good for the Horizon League in general. And this is a new rivalry that, Campy, he circled that January 11th game, because I know that was important for both schools. Both schools were kind of fighting for who was going to get the first game back, and Detroit ends up getting it. But Campy was like, hey, I don't care. He says, I'll pay for, 20 buses, and I want them all full of kids, and I want to go down to Callahan Hall, and he wants to see that place full of, black and gold wearing supporters. And it's a really big year for Oakland. And I think that, personally, I think there's going to be probably a little bit of an adjustment period. There's a lot of things that go into that. I don't expect them to really, I don't know if even competing for the crown of the Horizon League in basketball. But this is, like I said, it's a big year, and I really like the schedule. I like it a lot better than last year's schedule. There's not as much travel involved, and that speaks to, first, the conference, but then even second, the first half of the season. He has them playing in these Maui Invitationals, so you play some of the same teams in the same places, and it has the right amount of exposure, the right amount of experience. I think it's just the right mix. It's not too much, but it's not too little either.
Right, and you open up conference play at Wright State in Dayton, Ohio, come home for 2 conference games, and then you're in Detroit on January 11th.
We didn't even talk about, technically it's a home game for Oakland, but they're another non-conference team. Right after they play the Big Ten team in Indiana, they play a local Big Ten team in Michigan State at the Palace.
Right.
And what's key for that is it's a home game for Oakland, but they're playing at the Palace. So that gives you another, that's where the tournament was. So that gives Oakland kind of a feel. And unfortunately, it'll definitely be a, kind of a hostile crowd for Oakland. I know I went 2-3 years ago when they played Michigan. It was Trey Burke's freshman year. And
2 years ago.
They lost 90-80, and, 90% of the crowd was maize and blue. But it still gives Oakland, heck, like I said, that's where the tournament was a year later. So you get that feel of playing in a, NBA gym and having a crowd maybe be against you, and, travel for that's easy. You can bike there. So that's good.
You don't need a charter flight for that. I think that'll be a big game for Oakland going against the Spartans, especially when the Wolverines have chickened out. John Beilein refuses to play Oakland now.
Beilein and Campy at least respected that, but that's what Detroit guy didn't do. But now he has to play him,
right?
Because we're both in the same conference,
right? I think it's gonna be a big year for Oakland. Hopefully they can make the tournament. It might be tough adjusting to the new conference, but I do think that expectations are high, and even though you switch conferences, that's kind of what needs to happen. You need to make the tournament.
We're gonna break down Oakland basketball come on its way, but biggest thing for me is Oakland's style of play, especially the past couple years after they lost some big men Keith Benson, Will Hudson, was they've been really, I mean, just a run and gun, take a bunch of shots, fly down the court. And I don't really know if that fits into the Horizon League model.
Yeah, it's
right
definitely going to be. I mean, it's an adjustment for the fans too.
Right.
Horizon League basketball is somewhat unfamiliar for us and for all Oakland alumni and fans, and there's going to be an adjustment for the team as well as the fans.
But I mean, some of their games, they beat Valparaiso last year. Excuse me, that's a team that stayed on their schedule, and they played Youngstown State like 2 years ago and lost. So we'll see how they're able to adjust. But like this schedule, it excites me as an Oakland fan, and I think it's a perfect mix. I don't think it's too much, but there's big names on that schedule that everybody recognizes. There's some big games that I as a fan can go to. If I want to go to that Detroit game, if I want to go to Youngstown State,
if you want to go to Cleveland State,
right? If I want to go to the Palace, and I'll probably be at many of those games,
or even for the first Horizon League game that Oakland will participate in at Wright State,
yeah, down in Dayton.
Yeah,
so
that's only a couple hours.
Right, exactly. It's so I'm a big fan of the schedule. I think Campy did a great job. Oakland does a great job. And it's a very exciting time as a fan. Even the women's side, they're bringing in teams like the University of Miami and a Big Ten team apparently to the arena to play. So it's good overall for Oakland. But obviously the biggest show in town is the men's basketball team, and they'll be led by senior Travis Bader.
Right, and who's trying to make a name for himself for
potentially, second round draft pick maybe. So we'll see if what he can do. And yeah, it's an exciting time for the Oakland Golden Grizzlies.
Right, yeah, it's a good schedule going forward. And another schedule that we're going to take a look at now is for the Tigers going into the second half of the season. We had the All-Star game on Tuesday, the same day as the Fan Fest,
yes,
and Home Run Derby on Monday. Following Detroit taking 2 of 3 from Texas at home, which I thought was really important going into the All-Star break.
Especially after they kind of fell flat against the White Sox.
Right, yeah. They only won one game versus the White Sox, but then you take 2 of 3 and you score 7 runs in back-to-back, 7 runs and 5 runs in your 2 wins.
More importantly, what you held Texas to in those 2 wins.
Yeah, 2 runs and no runs.
Right.
So that's good. And then you kind of get 7-1 in the middle game.
I think the most important, and I'm sure you were going to say this as well, the most important thing that I saw out of that last series was Justin Verlander. That last game of the first half, he comes out and has a no-hitter through 7 innings and was just dominant against a really good Texas lineup. I mean, it's one thing, and it's incredible to get a no-hitter regardless against MLB pitching, but it's one thing to do it against like Pittsburgh one year, or
the Blue Jays when they were bad,
or the Marlins or something, or but it's another to Texas is they obviously don't have Hamilton anymore, but they still have some good bats in that lineup, and we talked about on the show for ad nauseum really. Justin Verlander was definitely I would say kind of disappointing. He was still good, but he wasn't at his, status in the first half. And it really gave me some confidence as a fan. And I think for himself, more importantly, going forward, for what he can do in the second half. If he can, there was a stat up until like his second or third to last start, he didn't even enter the 8th inning as a pitcher. He hadn't pitched 7 complete innings the entire time, and it was like, what? Like he hadn't even.
Right.
That was not what you expect from Justin Verlander. He goes out there, gives a dominating performance, gets the win, and that's what you hope to see, in the second half.
Right. So you finish the first half at 52-42. Mm-hmm. You're in first place in the division
by a game and a half.
Right, which is not a ton, but I do think that if you would have asked me in the beginning of the season what the Tigers' odds of winning the division were, like what percent chance you give them of winning the division, I would have said like 85-90% chance
least, yeah,
they win the division. And I would give them the same thing now.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my mind, you kind of call the first half no harm, no foul.
Exactly.
You're up a game and a half. You probably could be up more. But in my opinion, I think that Cleveland has played better than I thought they would. And the Tigers might have played a little bit worse. But at the same time, we've seen it in years past. They just flip it on late.
Well, exactly. And I've said this on the show before. For a team that has by far the highest expectations, they kind of have the lowest in terms of day-to-day, not caring, but people are just like, oh, they're going to win the division anyway.
Well, and I almost feel the opposite. I think people get way too upset.
But if you bring up a point, even oh, Verlander's struggling, or the Bats are struggling, Prince Fielder's struggling, this guy's struggling, people are like, it's okay, they're going to win the division anyway. The bullpen sucks, but it's because you look.
Really, you think that?
I would absolutely.
Like, you think more fans are complacent than are abrasive?
They're complacent on the fact
on the day-to-day
quality of their division. People still freak out about anything, about players and expectation levels of individual players, such as Verlander, such as Cabrera, such as Fielder. But at the same time, you can also take it for the same way we take for granted Miguel Cabrera's just like awesomeness, and like that he has numbers in the first half that would be awesome for a
entire season.
But at the same time, it's like, oh, they're only winning a game and a half. Not a lot of people are disappointed by that. I kind of am, but at the same time, you in the back of your head, you're like, you think about their division. Cleveland is outplaying their means, really, and then Chicago sucks, Minnesota sucks, Kansas City sucks. None of those teams are going to threaten, and Cleveland's probably going to fall down. All you have to do is kind of tread water, and you win. Heck, Vegas has them as the favorites to win the division. To win the World Series. They have Scherzer the favorite to win the Cy Young, and they have Cabrera the favorite to win the MVP.
And none of those things are out of the question at all.
Oh, absolutely.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Absolutely, and especially if Cabrera can pass Chris Davis for home runs, and if he could win another Triple Crown, that's unheard of. No one's ever won back-to-back Triple Crowns. And you look at the numbers, guys that went after their first Triple Crown season, they just kind of fall off. And Cabrera is just playing, hitting really out of his mind. So yeah, the division is something that causes fans to just kind of be like, well, we're still going to win the division. And when you look at their schedule, they're obviously playing a ton of teams in their division, and that's why they have such an easy second half.
Right. The first half schedule was one of the hardest in the AL and in the whole major leagues. Most of the hardest schedules being in the AL because they play other AL teams. But the second half, the Tigers' schedule is one of the easiest in the whole league. So they have 36 games remaining against the Royals, Twins, and White Sox, all of which are not great teams. The Royals are decent, but the Twins and the White Sox are very bad. All division opponents, and they have 36 games remaining against those. So you expect to win well over half those games. And then at 52 and 42, you have, 66 games remaining? Something like that. So, yeah, I expect them to play definitely above 500.
You would hope so.
And I would probably put my estimation that they would play around 600 ball the rest of the season, which is, very good.
We talked about we weren't hitting the panic button, but we were kind of both worrying before that last long road trip before the season.
Yeah, I think it was 17 games remaining.
And they lost the first 4, and then they won 7-4 to finish it out. And then you had some series like against Cleveland where you took 3 of 4. Then you had one against like that White Sox one where you lose 2 or 3, but then you finish it off with that the Rangers, and take 2 or 3. And as long as you just keep winning, for every 2 or 3 series you're playing, and if you're winning, 2 or 3 of those, or 2 out of the 3 series, like you said, playing 600 ball, that's what you kind of expect. And there's some names that jump out at you on the rest of their schedule, but for the majority of them, they're your conference foes that really aren't that good.
Right, and other than the 36 games against the Twins, Royals, and White Sox, you have a 3-game series against the Marlins to finish out the season. You play 4 games against the Mariners, who are absolutely terrible.
I think there's one I'm excited for. They're playing Washington, and I'm excited to see.
Yeah, that's just a short 2-game
like
series.
Strasburg or a Bryce Harper against. And I know that's here in. It's here in Comerica. I'll probably go to that.
It's the end of July 30th and 31st.
So I'd like to see like Harper for real.
Right, and you got you play the Yankees, you play the Red Sox,
Mets.
Both away. You play the Mets. You have Oakland. You play Oakland, but that's at home, which is good because that's always a tough trip when you go there. But you also don't see on the second half a West Coast trip, which is out of the norm for the Tigers. I think they played 2 in the first half instead of 1 in each, which contributes once again to one of the harder first half schedules and one of the easier second half schedules. So, like I said, I really expect them to play around 600 baseball and to really take hold of the division. And I do think that Cleveland's going to fall off.
Yeah, and I would agree. Cleveland
Maybe not as drastically as they have the past 2 seasons, but I think they will fall off
because
definitely.
they don't play Cleveland till
August 5th.
right. So you basically have a whole month of baseball almost before you play Cleveland. So I would be willing to, like, right here on the show, to bet by the time they play Cleveland, you're at least 5 games up on them. 5-6 games. You're only 1.5 right now. I would, dare I say, maybe double digits. I think Cleveland might come out and just not, but I would at least say 5 or 6 games you're going to be up on Cleveland, and with that series right there, you might be able to not put them away there, but
7,
and then
8.
just kind of like no looking back.
You only have 2 series remaining against Cleveland. One, a 4-game series on the road, and then a 3-game series at home that finishes on September 1st. So you're done playing Cleveland September 1st, and by that point, I expect them to have the division completely put away.
Oh yeah, by September, you would hope so.
I think September 1st, I'd be looking at for the Tigers to clinch the division sometime early September. Maybe in Kansas City or in Chicago.
And I'm a big fan of Terry Francona, but maybe Cleveland is competing for that second wild card spot at the end of the year. But I mean, that would require the Tigers to have won a lot and Cleveland to won a lot, because you look at the AL East and such teams that are going to be high win totals, but not in first place in the division. Like I said, I expect them to put it away, and I don't see any of the deadbeats in Chicago, Minnesota, or Kansas City to rise up and go on a run. In fact, Chicago, they're playing them early on in the second half.
Yeah, they play them Monday.
But by the time they come back and play them in that second series, Chicago could have a completely different roster. There's rumors that they're just going to sell off their entire team,
right?
And everybody's going to be going.
Same with the Twins.
Right.
The Twins could make deals.
So you could be, playing. I know that when they finished the second half, with Texas, but right before Chicago, a lot of Chicago writers were talking about that. They were talking about how this could be some of the last times you see these guys in Comerica Park, some mainstays of the White Sox for a while. So. That might be a lot of salary dumping, especially for Chicago. So, ultimately, I'm not worried, but I'm still excited to see what the future holds for the Tigers, especially on the trade market. I know we've talked a lot about that. Obviously, bullpen, what they do there. But there's still some exciting games. I look at those Washington games. I want to go to one of those, and they play some other teams. We talked about how we might take a road trip somewhere, Cleveland or something, or Chicago. So it's just it's an exciting second half for the Tigers. But comparing it to Oakland's schedule, we're looking, you expect to just see a lot of W's on this schedule, and you expect to see really, unlike Oakland's schedule, you look at a lot of the games and you don't see a lot of threats. And Oakland's schedule, you're looking as an underdog in many of your games, even in your conference. While Oakland or the Tigers schedule, you're excited to see your conference, your division on your schedule because they all suck.
Right.
You're excited to see all these, especially I see Kansas City and I'm like, okay, series win. Right. And I don't think that's a bad thing to say.
And that's what you should be looking for as a Tigers fan. If you take 2 out of 3 games, that's 600 baseball.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Going forward, we'll see what they do with the trade deadline. I expect them to be active, at least one or 2 moves.
Now, that was going to be a question I had for you. In the second half, the trade deadline is the end of July?
Yeah, it's July 31st.
Yeah, something like that.
That's around there. I don't know.
Give me a percent chance the Tigers make a deal.
Oh, I think it's 100%.
Really?
I think they have to make a deal. I think, and we're talking about fans and expectations. I think that we're sitting here saying, oh, they should win the division. But because the expectations are there, because this is a win-now situation.
And you think it's going to be for a reliever?
I would expect, something.
They obviously don't need a starting pitcher.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think they really need a bat.
But it wouldn't surprise me if they pick somebody up. If you picked up a guy who can play left field and hit, because Dirks hasn't really done a ton for you this year, and you can put Don Kelly or whoever out there. But if you could pick up someone for the second half, just to be an extra bat along the way, That wouldn't surprise me. And I would certainly expect one or two arms, maybe two arms to come into your bullpen, because that's the only thing that really worries me is that you have teams that, you look at the Tigers the other day, they had a 5-0 lead, and they still had to use Smiley. Other teams that are better than you can bring out other guys and close out a 5-run game.
Because they have people they can trust.
Exactly. But right now, I know both of us, one of the favorites of this show has been Al Albuquerque, and he's really struggled. Really struggled.
Albuquerque, Koch.
Phil Koch, he was, a left-handed specialist, and now he can't do anything.
And you can't trust Phil Koch to come into a 5-0 game and not give up 5 runs.
Exactly.
You just can't.
So that's why, Phil Koch maybe goes back down to Toledo. The Rondon situation is still kind of, we don't really know.
Right, and I think Rondon plays a huge role in whether they make a deal.
And,
because myself, to answer my own question, I'd put the odds of him making a deal at about 85%. Because I could see if Rondon pitches really well to start the second half, that's a third guy in your bullpen that you could rely on.
But why not?
If he proves that, and if you view Rick Porcello as being a guy that's not going to start games in the playoffs for you, he could be a fourth guy. And that's where I could see them not making a deal.
I mean, don't you think that Dave Dombrowski just has a tremendous amount of pressure on him, especially this year?
No, I agree with you. And that's
ALCS trip, World Series trip.
Right.
This should be the next
85% is a high number.
The next logical step should be at the end of the year, Jim Leyland handing Illich the trophy with all the flags on it. That's what should be the next logical step. And I think many fans expect that. You have all this money sunk into this team. You have a guy who really is your ace of your staff right now, and Scherzer, who is pitching himself out of the city right now, out of Detroit, which isn't necessarily a bad thing for this year. But I think this team is most certainly a win now team, and chemistry. I don't think it matters as much as in baseball, especially a bullpen.
And especially when you have somebody like Jim Leyland, who's so good at managing a clubhouse.
I think that the amount of pressure on the GM is similar to we've talked about on the show. When I was that Penguins fan, they made those moves because it was a win now, and ultimately some of that affected chemistry and it didn't work out for them. But their GM brought in guys because the fans were like, "Hey, this is win now. We're the best right now. We want to compete," and they go to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think there's anything. Many fans are not just World Series best, but win the series. Win the goofy thing, win the trophy. This has been kind of a 2-3 year plan that has culminated in this season. And you look at their schedule, even though it's kind of maybe a cupcake schedule a bit there, you're playing for right now, we're sitting in July, but Dave Dombrowski should be thinking about September and October. He should be thinking about that. And I think he brings in an arm or two, and it wouldn't surprise me if he brings up just a bat, because why not?
Yep.
Make the plays to win now.
Yep. Tiger Baseball returns Friday at 8 o'clock on Fox Sports Detroit in Kansas City. Start with a road trip, and we will be back in a couple minutes with some Lions talk on the second half of our show here on Sports Talk with Puckett and Pontzer.